Good morning, folks. I hope you've had a wonderful week. I am coming to you today from the porch of a very good friend of mine, a friend that I have not seen in person for months, have not been in the same room with for months and months, since the middle of March, in fact. And I can't tell you how good it feels to be here. Friends bless us in so many ways, and I am certainly happy today to tell you that this one is back. Back home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. That new mown hay sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, and I long for my Indiana home. From the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, and I long for my Indiana, long for my Indiana, long for my Indiana home. Ah, isn't it wonderful? And this technology, folks, I'm safe. Robin's across the room for me. Hi, Hop.
Hello.
We can see each other, and we can make music on the porch and be safe, and it's so good to have you back. Everybody enjoyed your song last week. If you want the rainbow, you must have the rain, and you certainly have had rain, but how wonderful it is to see that banjo is in your hands this week. And Finally, 6 long weeks in that hospital, right?
That's right. 6
long weeks. And to think 3 weeks ago, you couldn't even make a chord on a guitar, let alone pick up that banjo.
That's right.
So you've come a long way, baby. like our pastor says, we got a miracle in the making here, folks. And he's just doing so well and feeling good. And did you walk today?
I walked today, half a mile.
Half a mile walk today. Somebody that couldn't even take a step 3 weeks ago. It is just a miracle. So with many thanks to the man upstairs and all of your friends, yes?
Amen. Yes.
Lots of friends that sent many prayers and many well wishes. It's good. Friends are the best, aren't they?
They certainly are.
They get us through all kinds of things, don't they?
All kinds of things.
That's right. I think we need to do another sing-alongy friend song. What do you say?
I think so.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we travel along, singing a song, side by side. We don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road, sharing our load, side by side, through all kinds of weather. What if the sky should fall? As long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When we've all had our quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just a traveling along, singing a song, side by side. I love it. I wish it was easier for us to get side by side. And here we are. We just came off a big family weekend, a time when families usually get together and friends get together. And I know people are still being cautious, as well we should. We need to kind of ease back into this new world that we're a part of. But boy, when you think about it, wouldn't it just be wonderful for everybody to come together? And wouldn't it be great to see all those old friends? That old gang, you know? A G, but I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. I can't forget that old quartet that sang Sweet Adeline. I miss you so much, dear fellas and gals. I miss you so much, oh sweeties and pals. God bless you. Gee, but I'd give the world to see that old gang of mine. And you know what? I don't want to sing about it. I think that's exactly what we should do. Let's go visit some of those old friends today, okay?
I think that's a great idea.
Here we go. Hello, folks. Looky here. I'm in the house of John and Helen Helkeny with lovely Barb Lawrence, Helen's sister, part of our old gang from the senior center that we've not seen forever because Helen and John are snowbirds. Not fair that you are snowbirds.
It's nice.
And you flew back a lot later than intended, or not, because of the virus this year?
Yeah, we stayed longer. It's how long I wanted to stay anyway, so it wasn't a big deal for me.
Oh, so you willed that to happen, Helen? Is that what
No, I
happened?
did not will it to happen, but I got to tell you, it's the best trip through Atlanta we've ever had.
Oh, I bet. Did you just drive straight
We
through on
did.
the way?
Well, we didn't drive straight through, but
Through Atlanta, not
Yeah.
having to worry about
we
traffic.
didn't even have to slow down.
Great.
75 mile an hour.
75 miles an
100
hour,
yards in front, 100 yards in back.
100 yards in front and back going through Atlanta. That is.
There was
Yeah.
nobody at 75. When it got down to 45, we stayed at 75 with everybody else.
And everybody
Nobody's
made
followed it.
Hey, last week in our little Kathy's Corner, we talked about finding the rainbows in the middle of the rain. That was
That was
definitely
it.
a rainbow
It was
in
good.
that.
It was so nice
And
because there was very little traffic and we just
Good.
sailed right through.
good. And you had a good time in Florida, I take it. Yes.
We always do. The weather there is so nice. It's like summer all year round.
And you've got lots of friends in Florida, right? Besides,
We've got several. Yeah.
yeah. In fact, did I understand that you might have met some of our other friends while you were down there before this virus
Yeah, we
outbreak?
took a cruise with the senior center when we went to St. Martin and Tortola, and where was the other one?
With Carol on one
San
of her
Juan.
trips, and so you
Uh-huh.
got to see some of
Yeah.
your Shelbyville friends.
Not as many as I thought, because most of them were from the other coast, from where we live.
Okay. Well,
So-
that was cool. That was a fun
It was.
thing. And then poor Barb, she's here back stuck in Indiana with the rest of us where it's cold and all that kind of stuff, and feeling like your best friend, even though she's your sister, has went off and left you. But you guys managed to figure out how to stay connected, yes, during that time of away from one another stuff.
Yes.
Tell me what you did. Tell me
We
what
played Yahtzee over the telephone.
you played Yahtzee over the telephone.
Yes.
Okay.
It's over an app.
Yahtzee with like you've been playing here this morning with dice and pens and pencils, and you played it over the telephone.
Right. We was each in our own home, but we could see each other's dice, throw them on the table on this house party app. It's like Zoom or some of these other apps,
How
like FaceTime
cool.
or whatever.
Well, I am so ignorant about all of that stuff. I told everybody last week I was going to get a Facebook account. I didn't get that done this weekend. Maybe next weekend. So, but you were able to do that, and it was not too difficult?
No, we did it, so it can't be too hard.
Wonderful.
The first one we tried, we couldn't get back on for some reason, but this one was easy. It would
Okay.
just let us get back on.
Okay. All right. Well, super duper. And the app is called House Party, correct? Okay. And you play Yahtzee just like we've played at the senior center before. Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's
You can do anything, you know. You can see other people, and several can join in if they want to. So.
right, right. John, what did you do while the girls were playing Yahtzee?
I played Botsy.
You played Botsy?
Bocce.
Bocce ball. Oh, that is one of those
And
famous.
walked and fished in the ponds.
Walked and fished and all those good things that guys like to do. Okay. Didn't have any stress about anything going on or, you know. And now you're back here in Indiana and it's a beautiful day out here today and you've been out working in your garden, but your hangout is closed, right? Garnet Dennison's barber
I go
shop.
there maybe once a week.
You go there once a
For
week?
a couple hours or something.
Yeah.
That was about it.
And lots of the guys would hang out there, wouldn't they? Yeah, they're going to miss Garnet being there. I think Garnet has decided he's not going to do barbering
he's
anymore.
not gonna reopen
yeah,
yet,
yeah. So,
Garner's about 77, 78 years old.
yeah, it's time for him to retire
79.
if he wants to. So, what you need to do, Helen, you need to figure out how you can set a coffee table up outside so that those guys that used to like to go jaw over it at the Fairland Barber Shop can have a new place to meet their friends, you know?
They can come back here on the patio and sit out at the patio table.
Oh, God. Well, you heard it here, folks. Helen has offered an invitation. If you're wanting to hang out, let her know ahead of time. So, in case you wouldn't want to be interrupting one of Helen and Barb's Yahtzee games. So, Barb, you were not around here all of this pandemic time. You were up in Lafayette for a while, weren't you? Or were you always in Fairland?
I was here when it started.
Yeah, and you stayed down here, you and Fred, and did okay. Managed to get everything you needed, and great, great.
Went to the drugstore, to the grocery store when I needed to, but that was about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. Well, we've been talking about friends today. Is there any special friend that you can think of, any of you? I'm throwing this out all at once and your minds are going, oh gosh, what's she going to ask me? Is there any special friend that you can remember from your childhood that you've got a good story that maybe you could tell me? Anybody that maybe still is around today? Were you from this area to start with? No, none of you.
Fortville area.
Ooh,
He was.
He grew up
John.
around this area.
John, you were from around here.
I just got through talking. I lost a good buddy. I knew him from day one in grade school.
Okay.
Ronnie Cole.
Ronnie Cole was
We
one of
played
your good
basketball
buddies.
and
You played
baseball.
basketball. Okay.
In the Cub Scouts, we had our own ball team.
Right.
And Steve Lancaster and Daryl Tippin. Steve Lancaster called and was talking to me about Ronnie. And he keeps me in contact with a bunch of the guys because he's got all kinds of computer stuff. And the Atkinson newspaper, whatever it is.
The Addison Times and
Yeah,
everything
he
that's keeping
takes that,
everybody.
right.
So you're keeping contact that way with all those guys. That's a good thing. Those of us that have been around here for a long time have friends that have been friends since childhood, because it seems like there's lots of us that have kind of stayed in this area. And
There is, and they're the type of people you don't have to be careful what you say around them because we know one another all their
yeah, you know
lives.
everybody, and
We
yeah,
know
that's.
their girlfriends who they married,
Oh, let's
who
not.
they divorced, who they married.
who they married, who they divorced, who they remarried, and anything in between. This is a G-rated show. We're not going to talk about any of those in betweens.
It's like that one, Steve's wife when they was hosting a high school reunion. about this, that, and the other. And she said, marriages, they didn't work out. Sorry about your love. Change the subject and went on to something else.
Yeah, sometimes we have to change
And there
that
was a bunch
subject.
of them sitting there that
Sometimes we have to change that subject and go on to something else, which I'm going to do, if that's okay. I know when we first started Kathy's Corner, I had suggested to people that they let me know if they have any special hobbies or they have any special collections or anything. And I haven't had a soul call me and say, Kathy, come and interview me. And I know John's got garden, but he's probably like everybody else. The garden is not up too much yet. Starting.
got cabbage.
Got cabbage, but not
Big
much.
onions, big onions.
Big onions, yeah.
And I got cucumbers today.
Yeah.
There's the blackberries. Yeah, the blackberries.
Blackberries are starting to come on.
They're budding.
They're budding. That sounds good. Blackberry cobbler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That sound, and Helen's a good cook, I know. But anyway, Helen, I'm sitting here in her house, and I'm going to try to pick up my camera. Cameraman Chuck is not here today. You okay if you go away from you guys for just a minute? I'm gonna turn around here. I'm gonna show you this lovely collection of dolls that Helen has. I mean, all kinds of dolls. Oh, I wish I was a good camera person, guys. All kinds, and they tell me she's got others too. So we're gonna have to come back sometime and hear stories about Helen's dolls.
And they are from all over, kind of. I've got one that the granddaughter brought me from Mexico when she took a trip there, and a couple that come from Germany when Pam was over there, and some different places.
Cool. That's cool. Do you collect anything, Barb?
Sunflowers and Elvis.
Sunflowers and Elvis. Oh, I love it. Sunflowers and Elvis. Well, you're probably not the only one on that Elvis thing about your age. Everybody loved him, didn't they?
I've got a corner cabinet that's full of stuff.
Did you ever get to see Elvis live?
No.
No, me neither. But he was definitely the greatest.
No, but a friend I worked with
Elvis.
at the time, she went when he performed in Indianapolis, his last concert,
Uh-huh.
and she was out on the street corner when his car passed, and she got a really good picture because his window was down in his car, and so she made me a copy of his picture.
Whoa, that was close.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be worth some money. John says, ah.
It ain't for sale, I can tell you that.
Oh. It's not for sale. I bet that's true. So anyway, well, I want to thank you for allowing me to come into your house, socially distancing with a mask and all that good stuff, because I want us to all be safe. But it's good to see the old gang, and it's wonderful to think that we might be back together before too awful long again.
Oh, I hope so.
Yes. We kind of miss
We
our
miss that,
Thursdays.
yes.
We miss our Thursdays. I know that whole talking on the telephone is good, and Zooming and House Party, that was the name of your app. That's good, but it doesn't replace.
It doesn't, and one of the good things to come out of that, Joel fixed up where we could hear church over the computer or over the phone. So
Right.
we could hear their voices. We couldn't see them, but we
Right.
could hear them. So that was pretty good.
That's
So we got to attend services while we was even in Florida with that one.
excellent. Oh, everybody's been creative on how to stay connected, but and especially those of us that remain close and don't want to be disconnected no matter what, we'll figure out ways to do it. But
Right.
it'd just be good to see some of those folks that just show up for coffee and a chat again. That old gang of mine. It will be wonderful to see. So, but in the meantime, this part of the gang, y'all stay healthy and behaving yourself.
That's not
And before, I know that's no fun. And hopefully next time we see each other, it'll be in person again, okay?
Yeah, I
That'd be
hope so.
great.
Thank you so much. See you again soon. Boy, it seemed like it had been forever since I had seen Helkines and Barb. long time. And what you folks don't know is that before we ever recorded that little chat that we had, we talked for about 30 minutes, just about everything. And it's fun. That's what getting together with friends is all about. And that was a good thing to do. In fact, it was so good, I think I'm going to mosey on down the road a little bit and visit somebody else that we haven't seen for a good long while. Won't you come with me? Hi, folks. Looky who is here. That lovely masked woman is Cheryl Hertzer, and I'm sitting on her back porch with her on this beautiful day, listening to her birds sing. How have you been doing, Marilyn?
How have I been doing?
Yes.
Well, I'm getting house fever, but I've been doing okay.
I bet you've been getting house fever. You've had to be super serious about this isolation because of your lung condition, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
2 lung diseases, and I just can't afford to take a chance.
2 lung diseases, and has it been a year ago or 2 years ago that you actually spent some time in the hospital on a vent? And you don't want to do that again, right?
I absolutely know what it is. And I think I was on the vent twice. Is that right, Cheryl?
Right.
Twice, but I don't remember all that because they were giving me fentanyl, which is a bad name, to keep me out.
Right, right.
But then they put, I think the second time they took me off the vent, they put a breathing tube down my throat.
Right, right.
And I prayed to die. That was horrid.
Right.
That
I've
was
heard
so horrid.
I've heard several stories. I know my cousin Christina just went through a bout on a ventilator for a week or so. Robin just went on one for 10 days, and it's not a good thing. It can save our lives, but boy, it can be a tough thing to go through. So I'm plenty comfortable sitting here with my mask and you with yours and Cheryl hers, and we need to remember that as we're starting to open up, back up, that masks are probably going to be a part of it, and it's to protect these vulnerable friends that are part of our senior group. And Marilyn has been a friend of mine since I was about 12 years old because she was the secretary at Fairland Junior High School, which was the old
building.
The old building here in Fairland, and everybody was comfortable going up talking to you, weren't they, Marilyn?
Oh yeah, I like children.
I know you like children.
And the Fairland building, I started first grade there, and I graduated from there. I spent all my 12 years of school in that building.
All 12 years at the Fairland School.
Yes.
Wow. That's cool. That's cool. And then you got to work there afterwards and made lots of friends, I'm sure. I bet there were teachers there that you still, well, heck, Bob Taylor just lives across the street. And you guys are still friends even
Bob
today.
was math teacher there. He taught math to, well, I don't know if he taught Lynette math or not. I think he might have in the 8th grade. Taught Cheryl math in 8th grade. He taught Gary and Janet in the math.
Yeah.
And he is a super neighbor.
I'm sure Bob Taylor is a great neighbor, and he was a great math teacher because he got me through the 8th grade, and it was not, or through the 8th grade math, wasn't my favorite subject, but boy, that man, he knows what he's doing. So it's wonderful to be part of a community and to grow up in it and have your kids grow up in it. And we just talked about that down with John Helkeny. His family has been around these parts for a long, long time. And he was talking about friends from way back in his school days. You remember John and Helen?
John had sister Jean Lance, was a school teacher.
Yes.
And I said something to somebody, my mask won't stay up, at the senior center about that, and they didn't know it. And I said, I think they were doubting me, and I said, just look at their eyes. Just look at John's eyes
sure.
and look at Jean's. And they didn't even have to look at Jean. They remembered what she looked like, and they said, yes, you're right.
Oh, yes, they do look a
They
lot.
raged through their eyes, and you could tell.
They do look a lot alike, for sure, for sure. Well, while I was at John and Helen's, Helen showed me some of her dolls. She's got a big doll collection there. And I had mentioned asking people in my first Kathy's Corner to write me and let me know what kind of exciting or fun collections they have. And I gave them some suggestions. I showed a picture of you when you brought your little baskets in and said, you know, it could be anything, folks. And I'm still waiting on you guys out there to be calling me and letting me know where something exciting is I can come and visit. And I'm so glad, Marilyn, you brought your baskets out for us today to see again, because a whole lot more people are going to get to see them. Would you like to tell me a little bit about this collection that you have here?
Well, I was collecting bigger baskets, and I ran out of room.
You ran out of room, so now you're just doing little baskets, eh? Good deal. Look at all those.
Baskets.
Well, come and tell me about them, will you please? I think cameraman Chuck is not here, so this is cameraman Kathy, and it's not nearly as good.
Where's this little tiny one?
Oh my goodness, look at that baby. Just a little teeny tiny. Look how little that basket is.
It was made in Kentucky. In fact, these were all made in Kentucky.
Okay, all these are
hand-woven in Kentucky.
hand-woven baskets made in Kentucky.
This mask is choking me to death. These two are like the Gullah baskets that you buy along the coast.
Oh, sure,
South
from the
Carolina.
plantations and
You get
things.
bigger ones. I've got a couple bigger ones, and then I got the smaller ones. This is an Indian basket. Made basket, and this was like American Indian. This one here, I'm not sure where it came from, but it's small, so I had room for it.
And how smart you are to collect small things. Then you can have lots of different little collections, right?
Well, I've got too many big things.
Tell me about your pottery here.
Well, the pottery is all American, Southwest American Indian made, except this.
Ooh, that's pretty.
And Cheryl,
What is
where
that?
this came from? I'm not sure
Calling in the troops. Cheryl's
where
going to
that
help
was
her.
made.
No, I don't remember. I don't know.
That's beautiful. Is that marble? Or some
But
sort of rock?
These were all, and Cheryl probably bought me most of these here
Okay.
when she was in Mexico, or when she was in Arizona.
Just
Out
beautiful.
west.
Just beautiful.
And
What a,
this is a Mexican basket, and I don't know if Cheryl gave me that or if Lynette gave me that. Did you give me that? It's from Mexico.
do you keep something special in that? That looks like it's
No,
a
it's
storage
empty
chest.
right now.
I see.
I took all the money out.
Oh, that's a
before I
good
brought it
thing.
out here.
That's a good thing. Darn. Okay.
And I did collect bigger pictures.
Oh, that's
Then
beautiful.
I had to go to smaller ones. This one is from Prussia, and I bought it when I saw it because Perry's great-grandfather was from Prussia. He went from Prussia to Germany and then to the United States, to Michigan.
Oh, that's lovely. And
You said something about your coffee cup, your favorite cup.
yes, my favorite. Yes, we did
This
coffee
now
cups
is my
last week.
favorite cup.
That's your favorite cup? Tell me why that is your favorite cup, Marilyn.
Because I like my hot drinks hot and my cold drinks cold. And you can't believe how well this keeps hot and how well it keeps cold.
Is that one of those expensive cups that do that?
My grandson gave me this for Christmas a year ago.
He knows his
And
grandma
I really
well.
love it. And I was in a restaurant trying to tell somebody about this cup, and I couldn't remember the name of it. All I could remember was Yogi.
Oh, that's right. And
I knew it started with a Y, and all I could think of was Yogi.
And did they
And
get
I
it from
knew
there?
that wasn't right. And the waitress said, "Oh, you mean a Yeti cup?"
A Yeti cup.
And I
Okay.
said, yes. So now I can pretty well remember because I think of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or whatever and remember the name of it.
I love it.
But those things hold so good.
Well, I'm so glad you told me about your cup and the Yeti Yogi story. That's pretty good. I'm also glad that you mentioned the fact that you loved kids earlier on. That's evident with your little library that's here in town, hooked to the old fire station or town hall. I know my grandkids walk down there while they're in this isolation, and they've been taking books out of the little book box. So you have been a good friend to so many for so many years. Marilyn, I know you were good friends with Kathy, the former activities gal at, have you talked to Kathy any during this isolation period, I guess? Yeah. Marilyn reaches out. She does, and gives good hugs and is a good friend to many. I know she's a good friend to her neighbors here. My daughter also lives across the road.
Yes. Tiffany and Steve and Lorelei, and
yes.
I would really like to see Steve and Lorelei, but
yeah, just wait a little bit. Those little kids are germ factories, whether they mean to be or not. They just are. So anyway, well, thank you so much for talking with us and
I say one thing.
Oh, say whatever you want to say.
The library.
Yes.
I wanted so long to get a free little library for the town of Fairland.
Right.
Because I love to read, my children all love to read, and I had a really hard time convincing a man that it was their idea to build a library. Mm-hmm. And you got to make a man think it's their idea. Seriously.
Tell me about it.
Finally, after, well, it'll be 3 years ago, when I got off the ventilator and finally got home from the hospital and rehab, my son built me the library. So the town hall men, one night after their meeting, they came up here, got the library, took it down there and put it on the wall. We had a little problem with it leaking. I think it's okay now. Mm-hmm. But I went to Goodwill outlet at Greenwood and bought books. Uh-huh. And hardback books, hardcovers are 75 cents. Paperbacks are 50 cents. Mm-hmm. And I had so much fun going over there and looking through there and getting all the books, and you get fantastic buys. But people have been so good about resupplying
Wonderful.
the library. They have done fantastic.
I'm glad to hear about that. I'm glad to hear. I wondered how that had gone. So you just pick a book, take one home and read it. You can return it, or as Marilyn just said, you can bring a different book and put in there and resupply it and keep passing on the wonderful, wonderful gift of reading to every generation. There are books in there for kids, books for middle-aged people, for older people, all kinds of interests, right?
Right.
A little bit of everything.
Right.
So, yep, Marilyn, you're a good friend. You're a good friend to this community, good friend to this town. And I'll be glad when our senior center's back open again and we can come and visit and sit just like I'm sitting here with you right now. Just feels like yesterday, doesn't it, that we were together. So I love it. Well, thank you, friend. I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon, okay?
All righty.
All right. And now for a very special treat, we have Dr. Cheryl Hertzer, who is going to entertain us with her mountain dulcimer out here on the porch at Marilyn's house, listening to the birds. We feel like we're really down there in the hills listening, Cheryl. Thank you so much.
Maybe the birds will sing along.
Maybe they will.
Well, this is the dulcimer. I'm sure some people have seen it before. It's called the Blue Lion Dulcimer. It was built by a woman in California named Janita Baker. So I'm going to start with 3 fiddle tunes. I enjoy going to dulcimer festivals, and one of the most fun parts of the festival is the jams at night. You see old friends that you haven't seen for a while, and Everybody pulls chairs up in a circle, and each person in turn calls out a tune. So these are 3 tunes that most everybody who's been playing for a while would know. So I would call them out, and then everybody would just join in. So that's how we do the jam circles at the Dulcimer festivals. So I have 3 here. Shove That Pig's Foot a little further in the fire, Spotted Pony, and Sugar Hill. So I'm going to play those together. That's the fiddle tune.
How much fun those jam sessions must be.
They are loads and loads of fun. The last festival I went to was just the beginning of March, right before the shelter-in-place order came out. And I thought it was probably the last hurrah for a while for the Dulcimer Festival, because usually they start in March, and then May, June, July, August, everything really picks up. So some people are playing online now, just to give you something to listen to. Some of the instructors are teaching online, and I just play in the living room mostly. One of the things I enjoy about folk music is how it changes, and how sometimes people take a well-known tune and then write new lyrics. So I have a song here that I've updated a little bit. I'll have to look at the lyrics, because I just worked them out. I hope that you enjoy it. Overseas was nothing Hold up and stay home. Somebody, you better stay 6 feet or more away. Wear a mask and don't you dare cough on me. I'm asking you, please, stop hoarding TP. What you must do now, hold up and stay home. We used to have a routine before this COVID-19. Had to wake up early, get ready for work. Commute to the city, sunrise is so pretty. But now I can sleep late because I stay home. Somebody, you better stay 6 feet or more away. Wear a mask and don't you dare cough on me. I'm asking you, please, stop hoarding TP. What you must do now, hold up and stay home. Don't worry about your hair, finding an outfit to wear. You can lounge around in your jammies all day. The risk is too great, so stay home and wait. For now you must hold up and stay home. Somebody, you'd better stay 6 feet or more away. Wear a mask and don't you dare cough on me. I'm asking you, please, stop hoarding TP. What you must do now, hold up and stay home. What you must do now, hold up and stay home.
That should be a YouTube sensation, Cheryl. How cute. I love it. I love it. And did you do that just for us?
I did it just for you.
Oh, thank you so much. That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
I've heard a couple of versions online written by people who were on the Princess cruise ship. And so they kept part of the original lyrics, "Let me go home," because they just wanted to go home.
Sure.
But I thought it might be fun to kind of write it to suit my situation.
Did you know that you had not a classmate, she was a year older than you, that was on that Princess cruise ship?
Oh no.
Linda Maurice.
Uh-huh.
Linda Maurice was on that Princess
Wow.
cruise ship. Did never get the virus, but was
Well, lucky for her. I'm glad she didn't,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well, the last song I have for you is a Carter family song. They recorded it it was 1936 or 37 and was released on an album called Hello Stranger. It was actually written in 1867 by a man named William Shakespeare Hayes. And it's called You've Been a Friend to Me. When W.S. Hayes wrote it, he dedicated it to a Miss Emily Peters. My book of life was drifting down the Misfortune used me as her child and loved me fondly too. I would have had a broken heart had it not been for you. I'll never forget where I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. I now look back upon the past, across life's troubled sea, and smile to think through all I've seen. You've been a friend to me. I'll never forget where I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me. I'll never forget where I roam, wherever you may be. If ever I have had a friend, you've been that friend to me.
Oh, thank you, Cheryl, for being such a friend to us and singing a friend song and doing that special quarantine COVID song for us. And for those of you that are listening at home, you may have noticed it sounded like there was a buzzsaw or something. Well, that friend that they had talked about a little bit earlier, Bob Taylor, that lives across the road from them, by golly, he was doing some weed eating. And so Bob came over, and there's Sonia. Wave, Sonia, Bob's granddaughter. And there's Bob Taylor, that famous 8th grade math teacher, over being a good friend, getting all the weed eating done around the azalea bushes. So Bob, glad you stopped by. Gives me a chance to spin around this lovely back porch of Marilyn's.
Ask you to give us a math, give you a math problem.
No, I don't want to ask him to give me a math problem. No, I'm not thinking about math problems today. Not today. There's Marilyn. Wave, Marilyn. Thank you all so much for joining us today on Marilyn's porch. And you're all good friends, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye.
Thanks for having us.
What a fun day this has been. Thanks to Robin, who's acting as cameraman right now, for letting us use his porch today. Thanks to Helen and Barb and John for letting us visit them. They've been such good friends. They're friends that I didn't even know until the senior center happened in Fairland. And last but not least, thanks to Cheryl and Marilyn, who have been friends for a long, long time. Thank you for sharing your porch and making it such a great, great, great Kathy's Corner. Before we leave, though, we need to know that it's always important to be a good encourager when you're a friend. We know that. And that brings me to our card shower recipient for this week. It is Rick Ziegler. Rick has been struggling with cancer treatments for a while, and he's doing good, but it still would be a good person for us to shower our friendship with this week. So send Rick a thinking of you card, or hope you're having a good day note. His address is 7958 North, 700 West, Fairland, Indiana, 46126. Okay? Brighten Rick's day. Another good friend of mine and of the seniors is Cindy Miller. And when I told her I wanted to do this segment on friends, I said, can you write me a poem? I did that this morning, and here we go. Cindy's going to close us out with a wonderful poem about friends. They come in all sizes, short, tall, plump, or thin. The only thing that matters is what is within. The treasure I speak of is those we can call friend. The joy, comfort, and support that they bring us has no end. A friend enjoys spending time with you, lifts you up when you're feeling blue. A friend doesn't ask, what can I do in times of stress? They just jump right in to help clean up your mess. A friend knows all your faults and fears, and they don't hesitate to wipe away your tears. Ready to celebrate, a friend joins right in, always cheering you for the big win. Friends stay beside us through all of life's lessons. No wonder they are among our most prized possessions. So be a friend to others that you would like to have for your own, and you will never, ever have to walk through life alone. So be a good friend this week. Reach out to somebody, give them a call, make their day, and join me again next Thursday for Kathy's Corner. See you soon.